Everything changed when he left Nelk.
You starting to feel this?
Just throw the eggs at him.
What would you tell another dad?
Setting each other on fire.
What's your relationship like with your son Jesse right now?
Me and Jesse are like best friends, to be honest.
You cannot stop an Italian mother from cooking.
She won't sit down and eat it with us.
Give us your unfiltered gospel.
Wow, that's a big one.
Welcome to Fat Ones, the only show where the questions get deeper as the food gets heavier. Today, we're serving up a gauntlet of gluttony for a true Canadian legend. He's a muscle car-loving, dart-smoking, full-send father figure of the internet. MTV Pat is in the building. Pat.
Hey.
From Hamilton steel mills to European party tours with the Nelk Boys, this man's seen it all, and now he's got to chew through both the food and the feelings. MTV Pat, let's get into it. We're going to start with, from one Hamilton legend to another, Roma Pizza Pat, okay?
Yeah, that's a hammer pizza.
Yes, this is a classic Hamilton staple, so I'm going to hand you a slice of the Roma Pizza while I ask you the first question.
Thank you.
You spent over 30 years working at the Fasco and Hamilton steel industry, and now you've become an icon in the full send universe. Did you ever imagine that your retirement would involve shotgunning beers on YouTube with your son and the Nelk Boys? How does a Hamilton steel town dad go from the blast furnace to internet fame as a full send legend?
Never expected it at all.
No.
You know, I'm an old school kind of guy. And yeah, worked at the Fasco for over 35 and a half years and retired. And my son Jesse was was an out boy. And yeah, they invited me on a couple of their adventures and a lot of stupid, but it was fun. Went on a European trip with them for 10 weeks. Probably one of the best times I've had.
You made your living in a very serious way with a very real industry. Every day you'd work with your hands in hot environments. You'd see the fruits of your labor materialize right before your eyes. And your son Jesse, listen, it all paid off for him. But at the time, did you ever think hey kid, get a real job? What are you doing?
Absolutely. I still bug him all the time. I go, buddy, it's great that you're doing what you're doing, but get a real job with a pension. And
do you remember the moment when you thought, this is a real job?
Oh, yeah, I remember the moment. The time was out in Toronto. They had a meet and greet. It was one of their first meet and greet. Well, one of their first big meet and greets. And I was floored. The amount of people there. Those thousands of people there. Thousands, right? It was surreal for me to see my sons, and these guys came to see my son, like Jesse and Kyle.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
So that was the moment you realized?
Oh, yeah. It was a bit of a tearjerker.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Did you ever apologize to your son for
Oh, yeah. Maybe not apologize, but I definitely give him a pat on the back. I go, buddy, keep doing what you're doing. I believe what you got to do, and you believe in what you're doing, so keep doing it. And it worked.
And I'd even say, do you regret telling him to get a real job? But as a father, when you see your son nail his balls to a table, you kind of have to say, get a real job, right? Is that?
I was back in Careless Teens. That was before Nelk.
Yeah.
There's only holding their bag to a table and setting each other on fire. And oh, yeah, that was just stupid.
I mean, if you're going to set yourself on fire, you might as well do it in the steel mill, go in compensation for a few months.
Exactly.
Listen, this is a Canadian production. You're a Canadian legend. We're eating a true blue Canadian pizza here. A moment I feel should be a Canadian heritage moment on Canadian television everywhere is the moment you walk out. I think you were in Germany. You were completely naked and you appeared to be inebriated. And I believe your son and the rest of the gang was like, this is why it's good to have a father around. What was happening in that moment? Were you actually loaded? Do you remember it well? Was that all for show?
I remember it well. You know what? What they drinking? Were they drinking? Absolutely. I wasn't intoxicated.
Yeah.
It was all set up.
Yeah.
They told me to come in the room naked and go grab a beer out of the fridge, and the rest I just kind of winged it. And you felt great.
Winging it in the wind.
Yeah, I'm better at winging it. If somebody tells you what to do, I can't do it.
Yeah, well, it was an amazing memory and a moment that people will always remember. And Germany, I hear, is the place to do it. They're better at.
Oh, Germany was amazing.
Yeah. What was your favorite memory of Germany in particular?
Everything about it. Culture, the being away with the Nelk boys, that was just a huge eye-opener for me, man. Like, just the stuff that we did. When these guys were going, like, and I'm just saying this right now, these guys were going to brothels and having a ball. They invited me, but no, you know what, I didn't go because I was with someone at the time, so I stayed home and cleaned the dishes. And
Yeah, I also never been to a brothel in Germany. I was at home doing the dishes as well. That's what I say. Most people in their 20s, when they hit it rich, they become famous. They don't bring their dad with them. You know, your son Jesse, Kyle did the same thing. Bring the dads. They brought the dads in. How did you take that? Is that something that you're very proud of? What was that moment like when your son asked you to join him on this insane tour?
I mean, like, again, it was cool. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what my part was. You know, obviously I'm a dad figure trying to tell these guys what they should be doing and what not to do and all that stuff, but they never listened to me anyway.
Is there the dad inside of you screaming to tell them to stop doing this crazy stuff? But then there's also the business person inside you going like, I guess this is best for business. Like, how do you deal with those two voices? Which voice wins more often in that situation?
Probably the fun stuff.
The fun stuff,
Yeah, that wins. You know what? They taught me content. Everything, content. You know, like, so there's no limits.
All right, let's move on to our next round. Let's go into the desserts. I'm with an Italian joke. Yeah, that's not the Italian way. This is fat ones. We're disrespecting our elders today and going in for cannolis now. Second round is a cannoli. These are fresh cannolis, ricotta cheese. Fantastic.
That's a beautiful cannoli. You're wherever the camera is.
All right. So for most dads, you're hitting their late 50s, a midlife crisis happens. That means you buy a convertible. But you, on the other hand, went and got a full send tattoo to rep your son's brand. What possessed you to permanently link and ink that on your body? Was it a spur of the moment dare, or just you living with no regrets, life to the fullest?
I believed in them. It was cool. Why not? It was a day. I don't even know where we were. I think we were in Spain, or I don't know where we were, but we all decided we're getting full send tattoos.
The European tour, was that like
10 countries in 10 weeks we did.
how many, like, is that a day where you're full sending it? Like, where you're getting that tattoo
Every day.
every day?
Every day was,
You have the look in your eyes like a man who was in a war.
you know what it is? Especially a guy my age. There was a lot of competition. I had to prove that I could keep up with these guys, for one thing. You know, like, they're not gonna show me up. You know what? If you're gonna drink, if you're gonna do whatever, these shots, I'm gonna do with you.
Yeah,
You know?
you kept up.
Yeah, I did pretty well.
How did you feel when you got back? When you get back to Hamilton, Ontario after that? What's the recovery time like? Is that...
I don't remember recovery time, but I'm sure I probably needed it. It's probably nice to be back home. But I'm gonna say, to be honest, probably within 2 weeks, I was ready to go back.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was just, every day was a journey. These guys don't plant it. I mean, back then, things like, they wake up and they go, okay, today we're doing boom, 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 boom. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're like, all right.
And you're just off and you're there and you're back. You didn't like...
Would you be on a road trip at the last minute, flying a plane?
Yeah. Because once I hit like past 30, hangovers last for 2 days now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. Like, you're an older guy than me. No disrespect, but full sending it in Europe, I imagine I would be wounded for a year or more.
We were.
What was the most recent tattoo you've gotten? I see you got more ink.
I got, you know what, put on my thigh.
You know what?
Yeah, you know what?
What does that mean?
It's just a saying I used to say all the time. I still say it. I was gonna make T-shirts up and everything. You know what? Because everybody, you don't realize how many times you say, you know what?
You know what?
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, just suit it.
So you drop it like it's a, like, give me an example of how you would use that in a sentence.
So to say, you know what? It's gonna be a nice day today if it doesn't rain.
You know what? I think the transmission just went on my car.
It's you know what? I think I'm hungry.
Yeah, you know what? I think I just saw a ghost.
Exactly.
Did that become a phrase that you realized you were saying yourself, or did it show up in the comments? Were people in the comments picking up on it and, going like, you say that a lot?
You know what?
That wasn't even intentional. That wasn't...
You know what? People were picking up on it, and the one who kept pushing it, believe it or not, it was Salim.
Okay.
He would mock me. He goes, hey, you know what? You're like, and he was just being Salim. But yeah, and it just kicked in from there.
I like that.
I mean, it never went anywhere.
No.
We probably got a copyright on it and got a patent and whatever, but
You know what? We should patent that after the show. You know what? We're eating Italian food today. And this is a cannoli right now, the traditional Italian dessert. How are you finding it?
very good.
Oh.
Crispy outside, nice and creamy inside. You might reminds me of something. But
We're only doing Italian food today. We're both Italian gentlemen. So it's an Italian-themed version of Fat Lunch today. All Italian items.
Yep.
I'm keeping it real.
Yep. I just met Jay today.
Yeah.
He's a fellow Italian, but he's Calabrese. Bruzzese, but we're okay.
Hey, we're okay. I'm the south, from the south of Italy. We're known for having the stubborn, hard heads.
Yeah. We're in the middle. We just keep the peace.
Yes, we're all in the heart.
We're the heart of Italy.
Yeah, I'm in the heel of the boot. And the heel of the boot is the class. It's the best place to hit somebody. If you're going to hit someone with a boot, you use the heel. That's right. That's what I'll say. So let's move on to the next round. And Pat, I have some homemade prosciutto for you, okay? We're going from cannolis to prosciutto. I know it's a lot to just jump in it, but we'll just have a little palate cleanser piece of prosciutto. Prosciutto is a cured pig's leg. And growing up as an Italian, you know you're in an Italian house, but you walk into the cold room and you see a pig's leg hanging.
Yeah, with the dry sausage. Oh yeah, I saw the sausage on oil. Oh my God.
There's a lot of pork involved in an Italian. There's always like a full pig in an Italian house somewhere in pieces, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Either hanging or frozen.
But yeah, it's cured and delicious. Let's go on. I want to ask you a little bit more about the European tour. Now, you joined the Nell crew on their infamous Europe tour. You hit up Amsterdam, Scotland, Italy, France, that whole trip. Now, you definitely kept up with those young guys, and you might have even out-partied them a few times. What was the most insane thing you did on that tour that left even the Nelk boys saying, okay, Pat's a real savage? And can you give us like the unfiltered story from that adventure now that so many years have passed? What was the wildest thing? You be uncensored here.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, because I got a lot of flack from it from other people. Anyways, Amsterdam. Amsterdam was just, I'm pretty sure it was Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We rented out this huge boat, and it was just full of alcohol. And then they invited, I can't remember if they were hookers or strippers or whatever, or probably both. And they're on the boat, and they had boys on there, and they're dancing, they're lap dancing, they're doing a bunch of like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just leave it at that, but it was fun.
You were
fun.
But you said you were in a relationship during that time. You didn't go to the brothels. You were a good guy.
Yeah.
Was that challenging?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There was the temptation, the whatever. But then I also thought, you know how much trouble I'm going to get into? This is going on YouTube.
Yeah.
And those guys warned me. I mean, they wanted me to, but at the same time, they said, you know,
Dad, don't have sex with a hooker. And,
yeah.
I mean, that's usually advice father and your son, right? Like, Dad, don't sleep.
Honest to God, if I was a dirty Don,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
I'd probably either be in jail or
Still in Amsterdam. Or
still out to that.
being a part of 35 years in a steel mill, your days, and it's honest, good work. Your days seem so like normal days, I imagine, right? You go home, you have your 3 kids, you're working hard. Now you're on a boat that's filled with sex workers in Amsterdam. Was there anything during that trip? And you seem to be like a traditional dad as well. Was there anything on that trip that you're like, now this is getting out of hand?
Oh, more than a few occasions, yeah. I don't even want to get into it. Yeah, it was just yeah. Those guys have no limits. And you know what? Again, with that word content, they were looking for content. So whatever it may be.
I got a quick question on a side, okay? I remember years ago, it seemed like you had some beef with Bradley Barton. Straight up, who would win in a fight, you or him?
Well, first of all, he outweighs me, so
Okay.
yeah. And he's taller than me.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he'd probably kick the dirt at me, but you know what? I'd probably give him his I give him a workout.
How would you do it? If you had to fight Bradley Martin, what's your strategy?
Oh, Brett, it'd have to be dirty.
Yeah, and unless we're in Hamilton. Yeah, we're in Hamilton. I get
I'd like to win.
you fight to win. Now you got Bradley Martin. He's coming at you. Okay, like if you see a bear, it depends on the color of the bear. You gotta lie down. You play dead. You right. You fight. What do you do with a Bradley Martin coming at you? What's your first?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's like a friggin' locomotive coming at you, man. That's a lot of weight coming at you. You know, I mean, he's picked me up and thrown me in the pool. That strong guy, like ragdolled me. But yeah, I don't know.
Knees, eyes. What do you don't throat?
I don't know. I'm not a dirty fighter, but
You got it. It's Bradley Martin.
if it's survival, buddy, I'll kick him in the nuts, gouge his eyes out, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's in the eyes.
I'd pull his hair, but he's got no hair.
That's a fight. Now, I heard a rumor that there was discussions between some fight promoters to put you in a ring against Logan Paul's father, Greg Paul. Who'd win that fight, and how would you fight?
I honestly think, because we're about the same age, I think, you know, I would have gave him a really good go. I think I could have taken him, honestly. What would I do is I would ask for like about 3 to 6 months of training, and then I would accept the challenge. But during that time, I wanted to, and I don't know if he wanted to or not, but COVID hit.
Yeah.
So it kind of threw everything in the garbage with that, and it just kind of. But you know what? If that offer was on the table today, 100%, I would do it.
Call Bradley Martin up, get those special Bradley Martin vitamins in you for the 6 months, or what?
For 6 months, I would do whatever it took.
Yeah.
Like 8-hour train. I don't care. I'm not afraid to train. I love going to the gym. You know what? That's not the issue. I think I definitely I could overpower him.
I mean, I feel like we could still issue a challenge, perhaps, if you like, if you
Buddy, Greg Paul. Let's do it, buddy.
Greg Paul. He's going to train for 6 to 8 months, and you're in for it. You'll take your eyes out.
Well, we'll take his eyes out because he's about my match, about my height and everything.
So that's fair. No, I said that out. Just not.
You know what I would recommend? You guys call it a pussy or whatever. I think we should wear headgear because you know what, buddy? I don't want to say I'm half retarded, but I got a lot of brain damage over the years. Really? You know what? I think we should have headgear and then the proper gloves. Go to town. You want to kick? You want to punch? You want a street fight? I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. Choke him out.
Choke him out. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not into the hugging and kissing on the ground. I like to stay on my feet. Yeah. We fall, we get up, and we start fighting again.
All right. Hey, that's powerful. That's a powerful visual. A challenge is a shoot.
No, I think it would be a great match. I think it would be good. I think it would be great. I think people would love to see it.
I would love to.
And you know what? It'd be my kind to make some money too. But I don't make no money doing it.
No.
Like, you know what? I've been doing YouTube and Instagram and whatever. There's no money. I don't get the money out of it.
But the best way to make money would be fighting Jake. He just fought Tyson. You're about the same age.
Yeah, Tyson. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You and Tyson, similar ages. You fight Jake next. That's how you cash out.
Yeah, I know. I personally think, though, Greg Paul would be a good match.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't care about him. I'm not mocking him. But
no, it's just 2 men fighting in a ring.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
It's sports. All right. I'm going to hand MTV Pat another piece of prosciutto here. All right. I just pull it. Greg Paul, a challenge has been made. You're a reality TV star now, and MTV Pat, he wants to fight. He wants to get paid.
No, brother.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. He won't take your eyes out.
You and me both. Train wherever you want to train for 3 to 6 months, whatever it takes, and let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's toss hands.
All right, on to our next round. This is an Italian version, themed edition of Fat Ones. We have a cold lasagna that isn't probably the greatest quality here, Pat, but we're going to dig in. I'll give you the centerpiece, the best piece.
Oh, you know it.
It's not Mama's lasagna. It's made in a store. It's the store-bought stuff, but it'll do for now. It's a classic Italian dish, lasagna. And while you dig into that and I serve myself, get to the next question here. I'm told, Pat, that you're a huge muscle car guy. Your most cherished car was the 72 Oldsmobile Cutlass that you've showed off at car shows. What do you cherish about that old beast? And does the adrenaline of being behind a roaring V8 compared to the rush of going full send on a crazy milk crank? Like, if you could be behind the wheel of that car again and rip it, is that the same feeling you would get doing something crazy back in the day with the Nelk boys?
No, it's just two different worlds. I mean, yeah, Nelk was Nelk or Full Send was Full Send, but driving a car, it's just cool. It brings back, 20, 30 years ago when I used to have muscle cars all the time.
Yeah.
But, they weren't as good or whatever, but it's just a different vibe.
Were you a racer?
Like on the streets? Oh, I have done it. Oh, yeah, but I got nailed a lot for it too. I got pulled over. Yeah, doing stupid. Yeah, I had to go to one of those, I don't know what they call it, but I had to go to a class to save my license, explain why we should not just throw your license in the garbage.
Yeah.
So
What did you learn?
not to race as much.
Not race as much.
Maybe look all around before you take off.
Now, you live near some pretty historic racetracks, like Cayuga Raceway.
Yeah, Toronto Motorsports in Cayuga.
Yeah.
I go there quite a bit. I belong to a car club, the Oldsmobile Club, the Oldsmobile of Ontario. And we go there during the summer quite a bit. We race whatever we want, our cars.
What's the car you have right now that you're most proud of?
Right now I got the Challenger, the Shaker, RT Shaker. I love the car. It's beautiful. It's plum purple.
Yeah.
It's it's just I love it. You know what it's nice about it compared to an old car? I could take this anywhere and drive it and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Not worry about the motor blowing up or whatever. And it's got more power.
Those old cars, those old drum brakes, it'd take you 4 minutes to stop, right? That's a tough time.
Yeah.
Hey, your son's had some pretty amazing supercars. The Nelk boys have had some wonderful, amazing cars. Do you think your 72 Oldsmobile Cutlass, would you be able to beat them in a race in their best car?
My Cutlass was a nice car. It wasn't a race car. It was a cruiser, more or less. But it sounded nice. It looked nice.
Yeah, I do think there is footage of you picking up McCrudden's wife in that old Cutlass. Is that true?
Yeah, I can't talk about that right now.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's sorry I asked that. Michael, he produces the show, so that's an uncomfortable conversation to have. This lasagna, this lasagna we're currently eating here, compare it to a vehicle. What kind of would it be? A Cutlass? Would it be your Challenger?
I'm going to say a K car.
This is a K car. It's not great.
Remember those K
I
cars?
remember those, yeah.
I had one. That was embarrassing to drive.
What was the worst car you've ever owned?
The K car?
A K car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Ford Pinto. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Not a good car. No.
You know what, though? The older ones are cool, though. Because you could throw V8 into those things.
Not mine.
No.
No, never mind. That wasn't...
I moved out to Caledonia, so I figured, you know what? I'm going to get myself a car that's good on gas, but I felt like an idiot driving it.
As a car guy, is there a car you see on the road now and you say to yourself, what the heck is this car doing here? Like, is there a car that annoys you as a car?
Not that it annoys me, but there's a lot of all this young blood that's out there buying these Hondas and everything, and they're doing them all up, and they're cantilevering, or what's the proper word? Cantilevering their wheels.
Mm-hmm.
They're on an angle.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense now. Like,
A lot of them look like lawnmowers.
And you know what? They spend stupid money on these cars, like stupid.
Yeah.
And then they spend stupid money on the car after they bought the car. It just
Throw them off the road. Just throw them off the road.
well, class. Just put them in a ditch.
Throw them in the ditch, put them in the class. Pat, how is the food treating you today? We've gone through a few rounds of different Italian food.
Good. All high carb.
It's all yes. We are filming this. We are doing the opposite of the Atkins diet. I'm doing this thing right now. Speaking of diets, where I'm gluten exclusive. I only eat gluten. And so far, it's working. So far it's working. I'm only eating gluten, and it hurts to wake up, but
Yeah.
we'll see where I am in a few months. All right.
I love the feeling. It feels like you just ate a bucket of cement, eh? Or that full feeling.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps me down, is a belly full of cement and gluten. Just mix in some concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Just toss me in a lake. Okay, let's move on to the next round. We'll have another bite of this lasagna. All right, moving on to our next round. An item, I'm not even sure what it's called. It's an Italian sweetbread, an Italian Easter tradition. We make, usually make this at home. and you add boiled eggs into a sweet loaf of bread. I'm going to try to show it to the camera without dropping it here. And it is a strange dish. I think it's called a soupe de Pasqua. But
You know what we called it? Panettone.
this is a panettone. I don't know if this is a panettone. The panettone is the fruit.
I've got some weight to it, eh?
No, that is. If you could use that as a weapon.
Yeah, good.
You can.
Oh, it's good.
You know what you should do?
You want to cut it up or?
Yeah, let's give it a cut here. When you fight Greg Paul, what you do is you freeze some of that, put it in your boxing gloves, and you'll probably kill him like that. So
Just throw the eggs at him.
just
Egg them.
let's get a good cut of this. I'm gonna give you a big piece with an egg in it. I don't know what you do with the egg. I don't know if you're supposed to eat the egg part of this.
Yeah, because I don't know if the egg's actually cooked or boiled or just raw. No, I can't remember. I'm gonna say it's probably cooked.
It looks cooked. Here's a piece of that for you. There we go.
Holy sh!
I'm gonna take a nice piece. I'm gonna get a nice egg in there for me. I'm not used to desserts having a full boiled egg in them, but this is an Italian thing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, hey, listen, Italian food is wonderful. Can't all be home runs. Sometimes we make mistakes. We've put a whole boiled egg in there. And let's talk about the King of Sundays. Now, when your son Jesse branched off from Nelk to launch his new venture Sunday, it looks like seemingly you got an instant promotion ahead of marketing, better known as the King of Sundays. Are you actually working behind the scenes with him as the head of marketing? Are you in the board meetings? How is that?
I'm so far behind. I'm not even there. You know what? I go to California quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I usually do with him.
Yeah.
Like now he's got that short, simple show going. So, whatever. I help out wherever I can. Whatever he wants me to do, I'll do.
Okay.
Whether it's working on his house or working on the film.
So it's, you guys just have a good time.
Yeah.
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 So this is it's a fun project, but you're not the real. I've just imagined you like in there being like, that's a bad tweet, freaking out, but that's not how it works there.
No. Well, that'll probably be Jesse saying that. Me, I'm pretty easygoing,
What's it like working with your son then in any capacity? Like
It's actually good. It's actually good. You know what? I gotta honestly say, Jesse's his I don't want to say mood, but his persona, everything changed when he left Nelk in Full Send. He became a different person. He's more chill. He doesn't drink, so he's been off the booze for I'm gonna guess like going on 4 years, maybe more, maybe less, around there.
Yeah.
So he's just a better person to be with.
Now, initially when he tells you he's gonna leave, were you like, what? You probably thought the whole thing from the beginning was insane to do, right? You're never gonna make a living like this, and he does. He becomes super wealthy and incredibly popular, and then he wants to leave the thing. Do you give him advice at that point? Do you tell him don't do it? What do you say?
We sat down many times, and I thought he was making a big mistake. I go, Jesse, you're leaving money, you're leaving fame, you're leaving something that you built from the ground up.
Yeah.
You and Kyle, and you're leaving it. You know what? But I support him 100% now. I really didn't understand why he was doing it, but I do now. And you know what? Like I said earlier, he's in a better place. He's a good person. He's just overall in a better place.
It's what?
Yeah.
What an experience as a dad, having to to go through this this non-traditional career for your son, nailing his balls to a table, becoming a big superstar, leaving to start his own thing. We have Happy Dad on the table. He's still got a piece of that, so it's not seemingly set for life, and now doing something incredible for Sunday. What advice would you give to other dads in this situation that you're in? Like if your kid is, because so many kids nowadays want to be influencers and YouTubers, what would you tell another dad?
Let your kids be what they want to be. As long as they're not going to put themselves in the sewer or whatever, but let them be. You know what? Today, it's a different world. You know what? Back in the day, if I said, Ma, I'm going to go to California, I'm going to go travel for a bit. She'd go, where the f*** you going? You go to work or you go to school?
Yeah.
Today, it's not like that. Like, I got 3 kids. Jesse, obviously, everybody knows Jesse. He's doing his thing. I got my oldest daughter, Sarah. She's a world traveler. Right now, she's in Nicaragua. She's staying there for like 6 months of the year. She does a little bit of work just to pay for what she's got to do, and she's happy. She just loves it. My other boy's in BC. He's a carpenter. He's a full-fledged carpenter. He's got his papers and everything. And what's it called? Red Seal or whatever, I think. And you know what? He loves doing what he's doing. So I support them all. Would I rather have them all in Hamilton so I could see them? Absolutely, but
Yeah.
it's not like that today.
You're the dad. You got to keep it all together. And
Yep.
it's on you still, even as you're a retired guy.
Yep.
But you're still you're still the foundation of your family.
Yes. I mean, it also gives me a chance to go out where they are.
Yeah.
So I'll go visit them. I mean, I haven't been to Nicaragua, but I do plan on going there this summer, probably the next month or two, I guess.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because I've never been. That's one place I've never been to. But
I mean, speaking of Sunday, incredible shirt you're wearing right there. Shout outs to that. Where the fuck is Nicaragua?
I don't fucking know.
No way.
I do.
We're just gonna get on a.
I was just told. I think it's on the other side of Cuba.
Listen, that's as much of a riddle as this cake is. And speaking of this cake, it came with eggs. And Pat, you're in better shape than I am. Should I eat the egg for protein?
Yes.
Okay, let's try that. It
Eat
doesn't.
the yolk. Eat everything. Eat the if you have to.
Wow.
It's calcium.
The one thing I learned about eggs today is it shouldn't be baked into a bread, and that's
How's it taste? Is it cooked?
it's pretty cooked, but it's like the cake. It's very moist. I've never had an egg so moist.
Yeah.
So it's like extra
eggy.
moisture in the egg. I just packed with what's packed with moist.
The look on your face just says everything.
Yeah, maybe you don't eat the baked bread, but we do have to.
Maybe you're supposed to eat the egg and throw the cake out.
You know what? But that would ruin my diet because I'm only eating gluten. All right. Well, let's move on to the next round. Oh shit! I dropped so much food. Let's try it. Always. We dropped a lot of food scraps on the ground. We did. I can't. There's a lot of Italian food for the mice.
There you go. You gotta feed them.
All right, let's move on to the next round. A very classic Italian dish, Fettuccini Alfredo. This dish was invented by a man. You late there. This dish was invented by a man named Alfredo in Rome, and he originally just wanted something to make for his wife who had an upset stomach. He decided, what's the best recipe I can make that she can eat? And it, at the time, was just Parmesan cheese, butter, and some pasta water. Now, fettuccine has other elements in it, but this is a fettuccine Alfredo. And as we dig into Alfredo's favorite dish, Pat, I want to ask you, you had your hands full raising twins, plus a daughter, all while working long shifts at the steel plant. How did becoming a father so young shape the man you are today? And how did it influence you, while you were on your travels with the Nelt boys in Europe?
Make it short, sweet. There was a time, a big era in my life where my kids moved away.
Yeah.
My ex-wife decided to go to nowhere, but anyways, there was, so I only got to see them every other weekend. So I did the best I can every other weekend with them. I did the best I can. Yeah, it was a shitty thing, but
How old were you when you had your first kid?
I think 25. I got married at 23.
Yeah.
I had Sarah at 25. And then I think 29 had the boys. So I'm like,
Listen, you had to do. This is an experience a lot of dads deal with, right? Like, divorce isn't rare anymore, unfortunately.
absolutely.
But being a dad so young, whether you have to see them, whether you only get to see them every other weekend or not, doesn't change how much you have to pay, your responsibilities. You still have to be the man you were. And your kids all turned out great, so you did your job phenomenally, right? What was it like being a young dad back in the day, working so hard?
It was good. No complaints. I mean, besides my kids moving away, that was the toughest part to deal with. I think overall, my whole life, that was probably the toughest.
And
Absolutely.
being a dad, and I guess you get older, you guys get older, your kids are adults, they're doing crazy stuff. What's your relationship like with your son Jesse right now? Like how now that you're not on the road, you're not doing crazy stuff with him anymore. He's got his own thing going as well. How is that relationship like?
Me and Jesse have a really good relationship. I mean, like I said, since he's changed,
Yeah.
me and Jesse are like best friends, to be honest. Even with my son Jacob, my kids are like my buddies. We talk about, anything and everything.
Yeah.
So I think I got a pretty good relationship with my kids, even though they're far away.
Yeah.
But my son was just over here last week because my mom passed, so we spent a week together. Good. It's good.
When do you stop becoming their, like, when is that, there's a transition that happens, I guess, right? You have to be a father, you have to be a disciplinarian, you have to be tough, and then you get to be their friends. Well, when does that cross over? When do you realize, like, okay, now I can take my hands off the wheel of fatherhood a little bit and just be a peer to them? Be a happy dad. Yeah. When do you realize you can take the wheels off of full fatherhood and become a happy dad?
That's an age thing, I think. I think for me and for my kids, when they reach a certain age, and then obviously when I reach a certain age, you just, I don't even know how to answer that. I don't know. You know what?
So in my family, it was like, as soon as you can grow a mustache, you got to get the heck out of the house. And that was kind of like, you hit a point where you're like, you're a man now, beat it, right? But you didn't have that opportunity with your kids because you guys were separated.
Yeah.
But you became good friends with them.
Yeah.
And that happens like just over time, I guess, right?
Oh, absolutely, over time. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm closer to my kids now than I was. I mean, not that I wasn't. I was close to my kids before, but I was like the dad. I wasn't a buddy with them.
Yeah.
Now I'm like a buddy. I'm a buddy dad. A dad and a buddy. I don't know.
You got to be both sometimes.
You got to be both.
Yeah. What was your favorite when you growing up? What was the meal you cooked when we're eating this awful fettuccine Alfredo? What did you make for the kids the most, that they loved the most? What was the food that you guys bonded around?
I'm not a great cook, but I barbecued a lot, so that's pretty safe. Yeah. And yeah, we used to go to my mom's a lot for dinners. I mean, you know how it is with Italians. You're disrespecting them if you don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd go there a lot.
You cannot stop an Italian mother from cooking at any age. They'll do it till their arms fall off.
Absolutely.
They will haunt your kitchen long after. Like, they will never stop. My grandmother cooked for her family well into her 90s. Never. You couldn't help her either. You wouldn't be like, hey, let me give you.
No.
She
Go sit down. Talk to your kids. That's what she'd say.
They say the first thing a boxer loses with age is his speed, but an Italian grandmother never loses the speed she can throw a slipper at you at. Like, in her 90s, that thing will still hit you at 100 miles an hour around the corner.
And that's with her back turned against her. She doesn't miss a beat. My mom would cook us a meal, and this is the God honest truth. She would cook us a meal, spend all day, and now she's serving it to us. She won't sit down and eat it with us.
Yeah.
She's too busy serving, changing, and that's another Italian thing. You can't use the same plate. You got to change your plate. You got to
change the plate.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, then she'll sit down at the end of the meal. Then she starts eating.
Now, there's nothing better after a meal than a lot of us enjoy a cigarette. Pat, you've finally quit smoking after all these years, but you were a tobacco enthusiast for the longest time.
Yeah.
And you were also able to smoke at a time where you could smoke anywhere.
Yeah.
Back when it was legal, where was your favorite place to have a cigarette? Was it the mall? Was it an airplane?
Smoking at a bar. You
What's sick?
all right, nothing better than having a couple of darts at a bar.
Oh.
You go home, you just smell like one smelly fucking ashtray. I used to come in the house, my clothes would come off, and I'd throw in the basement.
The hair, you have to wash your hair.
Oh, yeah.
Your hair would smell.
And I had a lot of hair back then. I used to have long hair.
It was a good time. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I would feel like a cigarette now, but I won't do it. You starting to feel this? Like, you're starting to feel the effect of all this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting carved up here. Yeah.
It's carbon here.
My eyes are getting heavy. That's the first sign.
I'm sweating, right? Like under my breasts. I feel like there's a lot of the crisis.
A lot of moisture like the cake.
Yeah, I'm a moist man right now. I'm shaped like a scallop. I look and feel like a scallop, a raw scallop right now. We have to continue though and keep going with another Italian classic, spaghetti and meatballs. Now, spaghetti and meatballs patches. Traditionally in Italians don't eat them together. It's kind of an American version of spaghetti. You have some meatballs, Pat. An American version is to put them together in a traditional Italian setting.
You know what? It'd be in a separate dish.
Yes.
That's what you're saying? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're having...
Yeah. And they'd be bigger, too.
Yes, you have bigger Italian meatballs. Our balls are quite large. Kara McCrudden made this for us. She's lovely.
Yeah?
I guess this is...
Right.
I'm gonna say
She made the noodles, too?
she made it all. We're in a... Yeah, she heard Pat was coming. Yeah, it got to word
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
No. All right, Pat. Well, we'll dig into this carb-heavy round here, and you faced some real personal challenges behind the scenes. You finally quit smoking after years of the habit. You dealt with a tough divorce, and yet you're still hitting the gym. You're keeping fit. You're a fitness trainer back in the day for a bit. Now, how have those battles, right? Like kicking nicotine, rebuilding life after divorce, staying in shape. When a lot of people your age, a lot of guys your age, frankly, look like right? How has keeping this, rebuilding and keeping in this shape shaped your outlook and attitude on life? And do you bring that same full send mentality to overcoming life's hardships as you do when you're raising hell with the boys? Is this something that you have always done? You've always lived powerfully like this?
Kind of. I mean, like most people that go, I'm a full-blown gym rat. I love going to the gym. You know what? My workouts might not be 100% all the time because you're just not feeling it, but I still go.
When did this start for you? Have you always been a gym rat?
Yeah, like I started probably in high school.
But you're like 35 years in a steel mill. Like, when would you get your workouts in?
Oh, on my days off or after work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in there. Oh, yeah. Steel wasn't heavy enough?
Nope. And you know what? To me, to be honest, it was a mental thing to go to the gym. It was my stress reliever because of the bullshit I go through in life. You know, it instead of beating yourself up, I go to the gym and I beat the weights up. You know, and then I just liked it. You know, you start transforming your body to what you want it to look like. And you know what? It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a pretty powerful statement you just made. Instead of beating myself up, I would go to the gym and beat the weights up.
Absolutely.
So this was something you do more, it almost sounds like some more for your mental health.
Oh, yeah. 100% mental health.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Because you look good. I guess the result.
Well, you move enough weight, you're going to get something out of it. You're going to get stronger. You're going to...
So when you go to the gym, your attitude on a bad day is to just like, hey, I'm gonna work it out here.
Yep.
And take it out on these weights instead of like taking it out on anyone else.
Exactly.
What advice would you give a guy your age or around your age who hasn't been to the gym in a while, or even a guy younger than you who only eats gluten on a game show like this? What advice would you give them about getting into the gym for the first time in many years?
You know what? I'd probably recommend them just even going out for a walk. Go outside, go for a walk for 20 minutes, a half hour or whatever. Yeah. Start from there, and then maybe go to the gym, do some cardio, and then start doing some light weights, cables, whatever. You know what? Like I said, it's not, if you don't have a passion for it, you're not going to do it. It's like anything in life. You know, it's like your job, you know, or whatever. You got to have a passion for it. You got to love doing it.
Find a way to love it. Keep doing it. It's powerful advice. That is powerful advice.
Absolutely.
Growing up, I guess not growing up, but in the 80s, you had such powerful, strong guys. The guys you probably looked up to, Arnold and Sylvester Stallone. Were those guys influences on your approach?
Oh, man. Sylvester Stallone is 1,000% of my... Yeah, he was a big influencer for me. Yeah. I love the guy, man. I loved everything about him, what he does, his movies, his boxing career, I'm Rocky.
Yeah.
I want to be Rocky. Buddy, I mean, he lived a great life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still living, but no.
Still living, he's still acting, he still looks amazing.
He does.
You know, as
I've always,
chapped Italian guy who, doesn't... That is the thing about Sylvester Stone, so inspiring. Just Rocky movies. You watch, no matter what you're going through in your life, you put on a Rocky movie and you'll find a way to take something from it, right? And it'll inspire you to be a better version of yourself. He also had a terrible wife who never believed in him. That's just what happens. So that is a curse of many Italian men. You end up hearing somebody who doesn't truly believe in you.
Yeah.
I remember Rocky IV. She's like, you can't do it. He's going to kill you. And what did he do, though, after that? Yeah. He went for a drive, Pat. Right?
See?
In his car. A supercar.
Yeah.
And he drove.
A Zeta or whatever he had there, Trans Am.
Through that tunnel. And that's just the way, that's just the way Italian guys deal with things. You ever done the car drive? You ever done the car drive to get away from it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll just go drive randomly. And you know what? At night, not during the day. During the day, I do. But what you're saying, that was my nighttime drive.
Yeah. The only
clear your thoughts. I got to play music. I'm a music lover. So you got to play the right type of music for that time too.
When you're on your brooding Rocky IV drive, what's the soundtrack to that?
It depends what mood I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm in a pissed off mood, it's aggressive.
Okay.
If I'm getting tearjerker mood, then
Give me some bands. Tell me some bands. What do you got?
anything from like Slipknot to oh yeah, Jelly Roll. Kudos to Jelly Roll, buddy. I love you. There's a man that's gone a long way. I gotta say this because this guy lived a life that people usually don't make it. How do I say it?
Survive. They don't survive. They don't live.
Survive the life that he lived, and so I mean, kudos to him, man.
Yeah. That is incredible. You know, listen to some music. You go for a drive.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll is a perfect soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Jelly Roll. You just lost 200 pounds. Can't wait to have you on Fat Ones.
Yep.
Doing-
And I'm gonna come see you next month, buddy.
Yep.
Toronto. I want to see you. I want to meet you.
Yeah. Pat will fight you, Jelly Roll. Bye. But you
No, what?
in a consensual fight. A gentlemanly battle.
No, I got lots of respect for that man.
He's incredible. There's no one better.
Just the music. It's
Since we're not going to talk poorly about her carrot macaroni and spaghetti and meatballs, Sylvester Stallone was here. Okay, what do you think he would say about this dish?
you say, you know what? I don't know. Kind of dry.
I think they're lovely, Garrett. By the way, Pat,
I think you need a nap now.
so many carbs, so much gluten. It's coming out of my eyes. I feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel it. I'm gonna need an antacid and a 15-hour nap after this.
Antacid and nap.
That is a lot. That is a lot of simple carbs, not the complex kind.
No.
No.
There's real carbs.
What's a real kind of carbs they use to build the whole country? The kind of carbs they use to build the road.
This is the stuff they use between bricks.
Yeah. Let's get to our final feast here, all right? This final round, let me tell you about this. The final feast is a combination of the foods we've had today. Gosh darn it. Whew. And what we've made here in the dark laboratory of the Fat One studio is a spaghetti and meatballs pizza with prosciutto. We've taken the Roma Pizza base, a Hamilton classic. We've topped it with spaghetti, meatballs, prosciutto, and we threw back in the oven. And now, help yourself to a piece of this pizza monstrosity. And it's a big piece. That is a big, yes, it's a big piece, Pat. Let's take a look at the calorie counter. Well, and see what our total calories have been for today. Let's just take it up. The tally. That's a lot. That is a lot.
Got some weight to it again, eh? A lot of this food's got weight.
Yeah. This is fall asleep driving home type of food. This is
coma.
Oh, okay. Let's dig into this question while you dig into the final feast. I had to stop asking questions with all this food in my mouth. It's not good. I'm dying here. It's just too much. You've never been shy about giving young people some tough love, all right? I mean, those wisdom convos with Uncle Pat clips we see online showing you dropping truth bombs about respect and hard work. So for the final feast, what's the ultimate no BS life lesson you want every kid out there to hear? Whether it's get off your butt and go get a job or live life with no regrets, give us your unfiltered gospel to close this show out today.
Wow, that's a big one.
It is.
That's huge.
Important question to ask.
You know what? Honestly, just be you. Strive for better. Every day you wake up, be the better person you were yesterday. You know what? Life's not easy. I mean, nobody's perfect. We're all guilty of whatever faults we have.
Yeah.
And people need to realize that. I mean, like, just be good. Just get out there and you know what? It's work. It's work. You got to work at what you want. Nothing's going to be handed to you on a silver spoon. You got to just get out there and strive.
That's great advice.
I don't know. You know what? Live life simple, I always used to say. I mean, like my parents, they come from another country, came from Italy. They didn't know two shits about Canada. Didn't speak the language. You know, and they survived. We're born and raised here. We know better.
Yeah.
And we don't take advantage of that, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna say we're lazy. We just settle. But then I'm not, for the younger kids, I'm not gonna say they settle. They have some of them have a bit of a bite to them. They want to strive. They want to make a better life for themselves, which is good. But not everybody's on that train.
Yeah.
So,
You know, my advice to the youth is don't eat a spaghetti and meatball pizza. It's not. You should probably limit your carbs
yeah.
and mix it up. Have a vegetable in the mix.
I think your next one should be like maybe just all kinds of salads. But it probably wouldn't fly.
No way. You can't make. We became friends over the course of this interview. You can't make friends with salad.
No.
We know this now. Pat, you know, all the cameras we have here, tell them where people can find you, follow you. Also, before you do that, Pat, have one more bite of this disgusting monstrosity we've made, the final feast. I just wanted to say, with a clear mind and a clear mouth, and if anyone should be the mascot to Happy Dad, should be you. So, let's make...
Because you know what? I truly am a happy dad.
Yes.
I am. Cheers to that.
Let's make Pat the Happy Dad mascot. Leave a comment in the comment section and make it so. And Pat, tell everybody on all the cameras where they can follow you, find you, and keep up with you.
Well, basically just Instagram, MTV Pat. Give me a follow. Give me a comment. DM me. I read all my comments and all my DMs. I might not respond to DMs, but I read them.
I'm Jay Brody. This is Fat Ones, and I'm going to go into a coma now.
Good night.